part two of our podcast, my favorite quote is he's not a rough diamond, a pearl, a taining oyster of a rustic. He's a fierce, pitiless, wolfish man. And that is on page 108. The quote is about Heathcliff and how it describes him like clearly and what kind of a man he is. Um, it also shows the theme of passion throughout the book.
My quote is Catherine Earnshaw, may you not rest as long as I am living. You said I killed you, haunt me then. This is Heathcliff after Catherine dies, saying how Catherine said that Heathcliff killed her basically, and Heathcliff still wants to be with her, so he's saying to for Catherine to haunt him so she could still be with him.
My favorite quote is Edgar Linton shall look quite a doll beside you, and that he does. You are younger, and yet I'll be bound. You are tall and twice as broad across the shoulders. You could knock him down in a twinkling. Don't you feel that you could? I really like this quote because it just describes the character of Heathcliff. Like we finally get, I guess, like representation, like more of how he looks, and kind of tying into nature with civilization.
All right. My favorite quote out of this second third of the book would be, "Do you suppose I'm going to take that blow, burning in my gullet? By hell no! I'll crush his ribs in a rotten hazelnut by the time I cross that threshold." And this is from page 115. And after Heathcliff took a hit from Edgar, after he was being provoked by Catherine to do so, Heathcliff wanted his basically revenge immediately. And that's basically him describing and showing his violent nature, that he wanted to harm Edgar now so that later, if he does, he's going to end up killing him.
So, for the first question for y'all is, what event happens that changes the dynamics between Heathcliff and Catherine? Or
Mm,
is there one event or is there multiple?
I
There's,
think the most important one is I think Catherine wanting to marry Edgar.
yeah,
I think that's like the most important in my opinion
that's honestly,
because
that's the main thing, honestly. It's just
yeah,
literally her marrying Edgar, which caused Heathcliff to act out an absurd amount. And
yeah.
yeah, it just provoked a lot of
Yeah, that kind
things
of
in the
took him over
story.
the edge.
Indeed.
I think showed it that I guess like Pharaoh side, that side that we didn't get to see, where he was like his upbringings of the different country he was from. I think that's what it is. That's a little hint. His past.
Hmm. My question for y'all is: do y'all think Heathcliff is a good guy or a bad guy up to this point?
Um, in this part of the story, he's definitely getting more violent, I would say. He's doing a lot more unhinged things. And I would say first, third, yeah, mostly justifiable. But now it's getting to the point where he's just kind of a malicious guy. So right now I would say 50-50. He's half justifiable, half not justifiable.
Yeah,
Hmm.
at this point in the book, halfway through, I would say he's not the good guy. Just just about like how he's moving and how he's taking revenge and the people he's hurting doing it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I agree.
Nah, I think it's justifiable all the way. My question for y'all though is, what has been your favorite part of the middle section of the book?
Um, Probably where Yeah, probably where Edgar and Heathcliff get into an argument, which gets into a fight. It's just, I think it's very entertaining to read, as Heathcliff has always been, I guess, sort of kind of like the star, and right there he kind of shined out a lot, which to me it's my favorite part of the book.
True.
The favorite part is when Catherine dies. She did Heathcliff the wrong.
But you don't think it was like,
Right on, man.
I don't know, man. You didn't think like Catherine was like also trying to help?
Nah.
All right.
I think she was trying to help, man.
My my favorite, or my question, my bad. I guess my general question is, how do you guys feel about Catherine as a character right now, as a whole, like just as a whole?
I love her. She's my favorite character. I really
Mm,
can't go against her. I love her complexity. I love her, her human side. Shows us that we do go against each other, ourselves. So I don't know. That's what I like it. I
I think
can't
she's
see
a
no
very
flaw in her.
complex character, but I don't like her.
Why, Pedro? If you don't mind us asking.
Yeah. Moving on to quote
I,
relating to revenge and repetition from page 153 says, "I'll try to break their hearts by breaking my own. That would be prompt way of finishing all when I am pushed to extremity. Extremity. Uh, Heathcliff's intent to cause an emotional pain to others shows the theme of vengeance, which there are multiple themes in this book. Um, it also shows the repetition of his suffering, influing, influencing to inflict it on others. Like I said earlier, the things he's doing is definitely harming other characters in the book, and which is why I said that turning into a bad guy.
mm.
Hmm.
well, one quick little question, you know, before we move on to the next thing. You think that, like, I don't know, if y'all were in a Heathcliff situation, if y'all had like a girl similar to Catherine, like a similar, relationship, like how they do you think y'all would have been able to, like, I guess, like, forgive her or like understand where she was coming from at least? Or do you think
Nah.
like,
No,
nah, oh,
if she my day one, she's supposed to stay my day one. She ain't switching up
it's
on me.
true. It's true. It's true. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I just had a quick little question about my favorite character real quick. See how you already felt.
Alright.
It's fine.
Uh, my quote is about class on page 112. Heathcliff says, "I know you have treated me infernally." And then Heathcliff is telling Catherine the like how bad he was treated, and that's why he wants revenge. And this is when like Heathcliff didn't have anything yet after Hindley took over and made him a
Mm,
servant and stuff.
mm.
And it's, yeah,
Yeah, it really just shows how severe Haley did was. My quote, it's about love and passion, and this is from page 162. It's, why did you betray your own heart, Kathy? I have not one word of comfort. You deserve this. You killed yourself. And this quote means, or where it comes from, is Heathcliff is scolding Kathy for not following her heart and marrying him and not Linton, or Edgar, I mean. And basically, yeah, it's honestly it. It's just Heathcliff's saying that he could forgive certain aspects of it, but he can never forgive her for hurting herself. That's honestly the main pain that's caused him, and it just shows
mhm,
the amount of love he has for her.
yeah,
Well, my quote
Yeah,
went back to civilization by nature versus nature. I mean, is lifting up his eyes huddled up, not like a man, but in a savage beast, getting not grabbed, graded to death. I don't know. And this is like a description part about, Heathcliff's like I guess anger or like Heathcliff's like impulses taking over on him, even being compared to like, a beast. So, the contrast of nature representing Heathcliff is there, even seen by the characters. And also like comparing this to like Edgar Litton or like the Gringe, a civilization, like someone who's like more fair, more calm, who doesn't really, show such a dark side or aggressive side, who keeps his emotions in check, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So, for my big question, um, using what we know about how Heathcliff treats Hareton and his revenge against Edgar, and things like Catherine's love conflict, how does Heathcliff's drive, revenge, and destructive behavior affect other characters?
Heathcliff is so. Let's take how he's acting right now and apply it towards his Hareton. And basically, Heathcliff taught Hareton how to swear. Basically, I guess be sort of like a beast that the quote Miguel got him described him as. His actions are definitely teaching people to be more unhinged, and he's people definitely look at him like he's something
And
malicious. That's what I would say to that. That's how I would answer your question.
my big question is, how do the characters' actions reflect their social constraints from their time? Like, what's expected from their class, their norms?
Hmm. I would say uh, they're probably expected to be very. Well, I'm assuming if you're lower class, like be very obedient is what I would say. That's probably like the main thing they would expect back then.
Hmm.
Or I think like, if you're being from like a higher class, I think you're expected to like find someone or like love someone of equal class. If not, I feel like it'd be like prohibited, you know?
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that point of view.
My big question would be like, going back to my topic, how does the contrast between the isolated, rugged landscape to the beautiful, relaxed estate, affect the characters in a way? You know what I mean? Like basically, how does like kind of going back to like my first question, like how does the setting, but more, in detail about it, how just like those two estates, how do they affect the people who live there? Feelings, moods, like whatever, wise, in any way.
Um,
Um,
I'm not entirely sure if the setting would, I guess, necessarily affect their characters, but I would say
Characters that are
it.
there.
Yeah, I would say it could give a sense of irony because you have a house with all these nice things, very yeah, like a very nice house, but it's a nice house with a bunch of the worst people in it. Very ironic. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I like
But
that.
my big question relating to my love and passion topic would be how does Heathcliff's and Catherine's portrayal of love differ from each other?
I see it more as like someone, Catherine's love is more like she wants to help
Logical.
logical. Yeah, there you go. That's better. Like she wants to help someone as much as possible, even though she knows it's gonna hurt the other person, but she wants to still help by any means necessary. And like Heathcliff's is more on like the emotion side. Like if you love me, you should just love me. You shouldn't, try to help me out of a certain class or whatever. just be natural. You know what I mean? Like with their love.
Right.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I see. And I think that's a wrap, right? For episode two.
Yeah, I think
Yep.
All
so.
right. And we will continue in episode three.
All right, thank you.